Hello and welcome back here on Brickworld Studio, and welcome back to another new update here from our big cinema project, the biggest project right now here in my city. Last time we added the big roof here and we added all the missing seats inside our Theater 1. For today I want to work here on the front side of the cinema here at the main street. There's a lot of stuff missing, a lot of stuff to do, so stay tuned. But first of all, we have to repair a little part here. As you can see here, my stairs are felt down here. That maybe is from the last update where I had to knock on the roof of the building. So it's a little bit complicated to get that part out of here. So I have to remove a part of the wall here. Of course, I could also remove upper parts here, but I think that's not the best decision. After a little bit of rebuilding, I got that stairs integrated once again, and I also started working here with the next part of our stairs, and these are the stairs leading here to the front area where we want to start working in today's update. So that's the area where we can go up to everything. We have that elevator on the left side, and as you can see here, still a lot of parts missing here. We need to add some more steps here to get to the level where our outdoor rooftop bar is, but that's something for the future. For today, we just want to work here in that area. And as always, I'm using the light system from Light My Bricks. That's the best solution I've found everywhere on the market. As you can see here, I have different kinds. That's the version 2. As you can see here, the older version 1, it's something I used before in my city, but now I'm switching step by step to the version 2. And I also did that here in the front area where we have these big posters, these billboards here, because I think it's very important to add some lights here to these billboards. We have the logo of the cinema. We have 4 different billboards for movies running here. By the way, you can get these billboards on my online shop on brickworld.online/en for the English shop. And also I had a little part here done with all the missing parts here under here. And yeah, it's a little bit complicated because you can see here that all the weight of the building lasts on little columns here. But right now I think it's enough to hold on everything, even if there's going to be more parts on top of it. And after testing different kinds of solutions, how I can include these lights for our billboards, I came to that solution you can see here. I have a light for every of these 5 billboards, and I think it's a kind of indirect light here. You can't see the part itself, but I think it's enough light. It does what it should do, and we have a very nice view here on the front area with these custom printed parts here. We have 4 different movies and of course the logo of the cinema. And I think it's a very important part of the big storytelling that is a cinema, and yeah, I really like how it comes out at the end. As you can see, I have added some more parts here. I have started adding plates here, so we have the right height, for example, to integrate our room here for the projector. That's where it's going to be here. And of course, we're going to have some other rooms on the left and right side. As you can see here, that's the area where we're going to add the steps. There are going to be some more little steps to really get on the right height, but that's intended. There was no failure by me. And yeah, that's the basics, how we can think about how we're going to build up that facade of the building. Of course, I want to do it like I did on the other side of the building, but maybe with a little of kind of twist. So I started thinking about it, testing out some stuff, and I thought it might be the best solution to have 2 floors here on the front area because we have a lot of height here left. So 2 different floors might be the best solution. And at the end, I decided to go with that design you can see right now here. We have kind of structures we used on the other side of the building. And but mainly we have these big windows once again. We have some AC units, and I think just to have not just plain walls between these areas. And here you can see that there are not going to be any windows. There are going to be a wall, because that's the place where our projector is going to be, and there should not be any windows from the outside, because that's of course not good to have light coming out from the outside coming into a room where the projector is going to be. But later on I'm going to add a light inside that room so we can have a little kind of look from inside of the big Theater 1. And as you can see here, I said it before, it's quite a big height here, so we can add 2 different layers, but that's something for the future once again. Just doing the first floor, and then we're going to add the next floor. But already now we can see how the building is going to look like at the end. We have now these big columns, we have these big billboards, and on top of it, we're going to have 2 different floors. And that's the final look for today's update. I did the whole parts here for the first floor on top of here. The facade is done as it should be. I'm just missing some new parts, so I have to reorder some parts, so we can't work on in today's update. But going down here on a kind of minifigure perspective, I think we really can see how these buildings are now come together, how everything will look like at the end maybe, and the big size of the buildings here, that brick world size here. And I really like the look here when you're going down here and a little bit here next to the building, because it has that massive size of a cinema building. And that's the main idea of my brick world or Brickgate city, because I really want to have a realistic size, realistic looking areas, realistic looking buildings, and these buildings are bigger than the buildings you might buy from Lego or other brands. And of course, they take a little bit longer, they take a little bit more of money and parts, but at the end, I think it's quite a nice setup to have these big buildings together in that big city, having all these minifigures around here, everything sitting here, little storytelling, stuff like that. But of course, as I said before, it takes a lot of time. And as you can see here, the cinema is not done yet, but we are on a good track to get it done. We might work in that area in the next time. We need to finish up the front area. And of course, when we are done with all of these parts, we need to add some missing parts inside the theater one. And then we have that very big roof still to build up some stuff. I'm not sure right now what we're going to do on top of it. Maybe some little storytelling, but mainly we're going to have some, I don't know, air conditioner units, stuff like that. I'm not sure. Maybe you have any ideas, you can write them down in the comment area, of course. And by the way, we also need to work on that little area here. We have this toilet area here and that little other room. I'm not sure what it is. And also need to add some little tiles here on the roof here in the entrance area. And if you want to see more of my big projects here in my city, just subscribe to the channel. Write a comment down. I'm going to read every comment. I really try to answer most of the comments, and a lot of work left to do, as you can see here. But I think the cinema is one project that is on a good track to be finished up in the current year, of course. Then we can work on with the next buildings. We have a lot of stuff left to do, and of course the room is not full. We have also a lot of space left for more tables here in the city. Of course, we need more tables in the distant future for all the missing parts of our train tracks, because right now we have no loop here in the city, but that's something for the future. So stay tuned for future updates, and bye.